Good evening, Washington, D.C. This is, so I'm wandering around randomly again. I just heard a weird, this is part of my video diary. I refuse to believe that death, am a schizophrenic. I just heard, as I turned this on, a voice over somewhere say to me that I'm done scouting out ley lines. But I was walking around randomly here, and I'm always thirsty, and I really don't understand that sometimes. And I'm walking around, and I randomly come to this this right here. It's a shopping cart with a lot of water, some peanuts. One time when I was walking around somewhere, I was really hungry. I went to scratch my beard and I found a peanut. And there's peanuts, there's water. Blame it on the squirrel I fed earlier. And then I find this sign, and I did not write this sign. Yet, if anyone knows me, and the internet is getting to know me very well with my video diary that I've been doing, and I prefer journaling in many forms. And I'm doing my best to try and not follow the lines that I'm hearing. Now, it's never my birthday. My birthday only occurs once a year. All hail the 82. Because it's an acronym for HB. Anyhow, okay, if anybody knows me, I actually am a combat veteran. A lot of people don't believe that because some people believe in psychic paper, and I refused to sign my discharge paper when I was getting out of Norfolk, Virginia, because I did not honestly believe that I deserved an other than honorable discharge. Because I really honestly, I think I might have already recorded that and put that on in my diary, but I don't know if that video went through. I went to go verify my Social Security disability one time when I lived in Humboldt County for a short while, and I went to go verify my Social Security disability, and this psychologist walks in the door and he interviews me, and I tell him, that I have general anxiety disorder and that I have PTSD. And I am a veteran. I can verify that. I never photoshopped anything in my entire fucking life. I don't even know how to use Photoshop. I quit college because I couldn't even really understand Microsoft Visio, and it was like probably one of the easiest flowchart programs I could have, really taken the time to learn. About human beings is that sometimes they fear change and then they can't really relate. And in the tarot, the death card just means, change. It doesn't necessarily mean to die, I can't always be there. As death, I'm not responsible for when people die of suicide. I'm not responsible when people kill other people, I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for this revolution that isn't really happening. They said that the revolution would be televised. Blame the Beatles for So You Want a Revolution, and then their song they used to play at a strip club. Blame Maxwell's Hammer for one of their songs that some people fail to recognize. and and in this movie, it's my favorite movie, Ghost in the Shell. And and let me address something else. I just had a weird psychic sensation that that something just got forced into my back pocket. I can't even keep my wallet in my back pocket. One, because it throws off your spine when you sit. Two, or secondly, it just doesn't make sense to do that. And being sometimes an outspoken diehard agnostic or atheist or whatever, I just don't see sense in carrying money in a wallet in my back pocket and or anything in my back pocket and farting on it or shitting on it perpetually. I really have a hard time with that, or a difficult, idea about that. So anyhow, I got my PTSD because I got my Social Security disability and I got it verified forever by the psychologist in Eureka. One, because I told him it was crippling to have anxiety, and he came in a walker, like he was where I didn't call him crippled. I just said it can be crippling to be me. And it can be, and when I was at the disabled veterans thing, and I didn't really get that one recorded, I said that I read there's a quotation there at the disabled veterans memorial that says some of us, when we come back, even though we don't have a scratch on us, some of us are more disabled mentally from our burdens or our anxiety or our PTSD. More so than people that we couldn't save from getting injured physically. Anyhow, I know this stuff doesn't belong to me over here. By the grace of whomever, the gods, I guess. There's exactly what I need right there. And what I was going to tie in with that movie Ghost in the Shell is that who is this Kuze anyways in the movie? The name Kuze means to the in Japanese. And it also means and Kuze would be a Shinigami, and I hate to tie that in with Death Note. Like, I heard that the live action movie Death Note was terrible. I do kind of remember seeing it, yet I didn't care for it. I prefer the manga. And if you're going to read Death Note and take seriously about how this world is a rotten mess and how I need help cleaning it up, would you eat this cell phone in your hand? No, they don't have. It's not made out of the digestible plastic that they created in some Asian country where there's way too many plastic. They actually created plastic that's digestible. I mean, maybe it's hemp-based. Anyhow, if you're going to take Death Note seriously, don't write heart attack. Write cardiac arrest. And maybe you should write it in Japanese. I only got a D in in Japanese in high school, but I really wanted to go there. And if I were able to relive my whole life, I don't know if I would still do the same things. I mean, blame Prometheus for being chained to a rock and Zeus showing up in hawk form or eagle form or what have you, and asking Prometheus, would you change a thing? And then Prometheus says no. And then Zeus eats his liver. Who's Zeus? And and who am I really? And, well, I could be the Pumpkin King, and I could be the guy who chases Ichabod Crane. Can I take my head off? and turn it into a big, I don't know, floating skull or fireball. What's in my hand? And anyhow, does any of this make sense to the World Wide Web? Face it, I'm not pathetic. Face it. And maybe I'll do another video diary thing. Once my mom called me a kid on the internet. I wrote a very rude comment to her saying that I used to work for Subway. I never worked for Subway in my life. I was never their spokesperson. You know, eat ripe, eat mature. I was, in my travels, I was once in a rich neighborhood in the North Bay area in Alameda County, or Berkeley, I believe it was. And I saw these persimmons on this tree. And I had a red... And anyhow, and, you know, blame Serenity, the show Firefly or whatever it was, for having an amazing impact on most people's life. And did I train of thought about, where was I before the Firefly showed up? I don't know. I'm not trying to follow Bigelow and Butt forever. Grr, Petro. Shut up. Anyhow, I don't know if any of this is going to make sense for anybody. I mean, I know that the dream god Morpheus played one terrible fucking joke on Zeus one day. That's all I got for now.